Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled Planet X, Cosmic Rays and Human Health. Now, cosmic rays in the Earth's stratosphere, as reported by spaceweather.com on June 10, 2018, have risen by 13%. And that is between March of 2015 and May of 2017. Now, this is a huge increase. And Planet X objects or stellar cores, which I previously also referred to as brown dwarf stars, in the solar system and in the sun's corona, appear to be the main reason for this increase, as will be detailed in this article. And here we see a graph showing how these measurements have revealed that cosmic rays in the Earth's stratosphere, so that's at an altitude of about 60,000 feet, has so greatly increased between March of 2015 and May of 2017. And now cosmic rays are any particle with energy of 100 MeV or more. A cosmic ray particle travels at a speed which is greater than 40% of the speed of light. So in other words, these are relativistic particles. These particles go right through the Earth's magnetosphere. Cosmic rays are made up of mostly ionized hydrogen or protons. About 89% of them are protons, some ionized helium, about 10%, and about 1% are the nuclei such as iron, silicon, oxygen, carbon, and magnesium. The sun is also a source of cosmic rays, but when these come from the sun, they are called solar energetic particles. When a cosmic ray such as a high-energy proton impacts the atmosphere, it collides with an atmospheric particle and it causes what is called an air shower. An air shower is the production of a cascade of secondary particles and gamma radiation. Some of the particles produced are the pion, symbolized by pi, the Greek letter pi, which has a very short half-life. So it quickly decays to gamma rays and muons. The gamma rays give rise to particle-antiparticle creation, which results in the production of electrons and positrons. A positron is also known as an anti-electron, and also protons and antiprotons. Now, an air shower cascade of particles is seen here. So we see a proton impacting an atmospheric particle, and that leads to the production of pions, and there are three pions. There's a positive pion, a negative pion, and a neutral pion. And here we see this is a neutron, and then the pions decay to muons, and the muons are long-lived enough to reach the surface of the Earth. And then the pion decays into gamma rays, and then these cause the production of electrons and positrons through particle-antiparticle creation. Now, muons, as I mentioned, do reach the Earth's surface because they're stable enough and so live for long enough to reach the surface. And these muons are high energy particles, and they cause damage to living organisms. They destroy cells, they destroy the DNA within a cell. So they cause mutations and can therefore lead to cancer. So cosmic rays also deplete the ozone layer, and this leads to an increase in UVB radiation, or ultraviolet B, which is medium energy ultraviolet radiation. It's emitted by the sun, and some of it is allowed to reach the Earth's surface, the ozone layer, however absorbs, or is supposed to absorb, most of it. But UVB radiation is also cancer causing, but not as much as UVC, which is even higher energy. The UVA radiation that our atmosphere allows through is not as damaging, but overexposure prematurely ages the skin and suppresses immunity, which may then lead to susceptibility to bacterial and viral infections. However, with the presence in the Earth's atmosphere of a source of UVC radiation, and this, which has led to the amount of UVC radiation reaching the surface, reaching a level which is now higher than would be expected had the Earth completely lost its ozone layer, cosmic rays cannot any longer be considered to be the primary culprit for damage done by ultraviolet radiation. And you may look at Article 204 entitled Harmful UVC Radiation Reaching Earth's Surface Indicates Source Within Atmosphere for more details on that. Now, the usual source of cosmic rays is from outside the solar system. The sun's solar wind produces a bubble around the solar system which deflects most of these particles. However, when the sun weakens, as it has been doing for many years now due to the effect of the stellar cores on it, and you may look at Article 109 entitled Planet X and the Weakening Sun for more details, the cosmic ray flux impacting Earth also increases. And since the sun is now weaker than ever, the amount of cosmic rays from outside the solar system impacting Earth has increased, as the data shown in Figure 1. Now, it has been accepted by solar physicists that the presence of large numbers of coronal holes affect the number of SEPs, or solar cosmic rays, as any solar flare happening in an area adjacent to a coronal hole is likely to greatly accelerate particles coming through the coronal hole area. What they have not, however, explained is that the presence of the stellar cores in the sun's corona is what leads to both of these phenomena. The stellar cores draw coronal plasma from the sun, thus creating coronal holes, as well as causing the sun's corona to continue to diminish in size and density. In addition, by drawing material from the sun, they actually provoke the sun into having CME events, in which a large number of particles, mainly positively charged ions, are ejected from the sun's corona. Thus, it is not surprising that the number of cosmic rays impacting Earth will continue to increase. Stellar cores affect the sun in this way because, first of all, they drain the sun of energy, which allows them to eventually emit light and increase their gravitational influence. And you may look at Article 250 entitled Planet X Causing Earth to Move Away from the Sun for more details on that. Whilst the sun's energy and gravitational influence decreases. With its gravitational influence decreased, the sun is less able to hold on to its material, and it will thus become easier for particles to be accelerated during CME events, which leads to an increase in cosmic rays. The sun's magnetic field would also be expected to decline as the sun weakens, and the evidence that the sun's magnetic field strength has been dropping comes from the observed decreasing magnetic field associated with sunspots. And this was picked up already by Livingston and Penn in their study from between 1995 and 2009, where they saw the sun's magnetic field associated with sunspots declining independent of the sun-sunspot cycle. So Livingston and Penn measured the sun's magnetic field associated with sunspot over a period between 1995 and 2009. So this was during the previous solar cycle 23. And they saw that this magnetic field consistently dropped, and it did so independently of the solar cycle. Now you may look for more details on the sun's energy declining independent of the solar cycle in Article 118 entitled Solar Activity Declining Independent of the Solar Cycle, Is the Sun Dying? The drop in the magnetic field was of about 50 Gauss. Thus, the sun's magnetic field has been consistently dropping since at least 1995, indicating that it has been weakening since then. But this actually goes along with what can be observed from the fact that the sun has grown much darker in SDO images over the years. And this has occurred in all ultraviolet wavelengths, but it is particularly obvious in the 304 angstrom wavelength. And we can see some image here which show this. This one is from 2012, this one from 2013, 2014, 2015. Now remember, 2014 was the solar maximum here. So the fact that the sun looked darker in 2014 than it did in 2013 shows you that it is weakening independent of the solar cycle, and it has dropped. It's even darker, so we can see here in years after that, 2015, 2016, and 2017. Thus, Planet X objects or stellar cores are causing the cosmic ray flux increase in several ways. One, the weakest sun with its lower magnetic field has a decreased ability to deflect cosmic rays from outside the solar system, and thus more cosmic rays enter the solar system. Two, stellar cores connect through their weak gravitational influence to the sun and draw material away from the sun's upper layers. Once the material reaches a certain higher level within the corona, it is prone to being repelled by the large amounts of electrons in the sun's corona due to the gravitational repelling force between protons and electrons. And since the explosive ejection of positively charged ions from the sun's corona is what causes a CME and leads to solar flares, these objects actually provoke the sun into having energetic events such as CMEs and solar flares. And you may look at article 185 entitled Stellar Formation, Stars Are Formed from Light for more details on how this mechanism works. And number 3, by drawing energy from the sun, and you may look at article 250 entitled Planet X Causing the Earth to Move Away from the Sun for an explanation on what this leads to. Stellar cores weaken it, causing the sun's gravitational influence to drop, and thus making it easier for solar particles to experience higher accelerations and thus more easily reach a speed of 40% the speed of light, at which time they have become cosmic rays. Now, the increase in cosmic ray flux will, of course, have a dramatic effect on all living beings on Earth, as cosmic rays can lead to DNA damage and thus cancer. Cosmic rays also appear to increase life-threatening arrhythmias in susceptible individuals. But the first likely symptom from overexposure is tiredness and a weakened immune system. As the human body tries to find additional resources to cope with the DNA damage occurring as a result of increased cosmic ray exposure, energy for other functions drops, so a person feels tired and the body may not have as much energy as before to cope with bacterial and viral invaders. Since cosmic ray greatly increase with altitude, people who fly will be more prone to these effects. So what can a person do to help their body cope? Eating light meals rich in antioxidants, such as what is contained in blueberries, may help. Eating lightly is important because digestion of a heavy meal uses a lot of energy. Antioxidants help the body fight damage to cells and thus make more resources available to cope with cellular damage created by cosmic rays. It is also important to keep hydrated, in other words, by drinking water. Drinking other liquids may have the opposite effect. Water helps the body more easily get nutrients to the right places and waste out. For a person who is susceptible to heart arrhythmias or has a weak heart, it may be a good idea to take extra magnesium as a supplement, as magnesium relaxes the muscles, and the heart is basically a muscle. In a more relaxed state, the heart is less likely to go into distress. So, in conclusion, the dramatic cosmic ray flux increase as reported by spaceweather.com appears to be as a result of the presence of Planet X objects or stellar cores in the inner solar system and in the sun's corona. An increase in cosmic rays is expected to have a negative impact on living organisms on Earth, as this leads to DNA damage and cancer and heart arrhythmias in susceptible individuals. And here are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.